Hello and welcome to Beat 'em Up Wrestling. This is the AEW Dynamite, June 3rd.
Yep.
Yep. I don't think this was live either.
I don't remember if they said if it was or not.
I don't think it was.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Either way.
So, anyways.
We start off at the top of the hour with the tag team match of Kenny, Hangman, and Kip and Jimmy Havoc. We all know Kip and Jimmy Havoc probably were not going to win this match, so needless to say, they did not. It was a very good match. It showcased that Jimmy and Kip are a very good tag team. It's a very likable tag team. I like them a lot. I didn't like that they weren't going to win, and we already knew that, so that kind of made me not like the spot they were in the position because they had momentum, and it was good momentum. I mean, everybody was talking about Jimmy's suit. Everybody likes Kip. Everybody likes Penelope right now. So it was a mix of like all the ingredients you need for like fans to want to get behind them. Yeah. And I just think they could have just done better by not maybe showcasing the tag team. I don't know.
I hated this actually. It's just the fact that you're building Jimmy Havoc and Kip, and you're getting steam behind them, and it's just becoming a formula that needs to be called out on in AEW. You start building talent, and then you put them up against the elite, and then you beat them. And then what? Like, then they don't follow through with what they were doing with them. We saw that when SCU lost against Adam Page and Kenny Omega. We haven't seen anything from Lance Archer now that after
he's just beating up like another person outside. Yeah, like he's just going on beating
so
people.
It's just like you build up these characters, you build up these wrestlers, and then they meet the elite, and all the momentum and all the steam is just taken out of them. So that's why I was just like, it was just too soon for Jimmy Havoc and Kip to be in the title picture.
Yeah, and it didn't make any sense because we knew that the number one contenders were like the best friends.
Yeah.
So, and it also goes in the fact is I'm not saying I don't like Kenny and Hangman as a tag team, but they're not a tag team. It's like they haven't been tagging. Yeah. So if you're gonna start billing Jimmy Havoc and Kip as a tag team, like SCU, we know they're a tag team. Private Party, we know they're a tag team. You know, Butcher and the Blade, we know they're a tag team. But saying the elite's the elite still, it kind of feels haphazardly. Like they're the elite when it's like not comedy, but like parody type feeling. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle was a thing, but Proud and Powerful are their own thing. You know, so it's like, it's not saying that Hangman and Kenny actually have a stable, like an actual name, like, because they don't. And that would have been different if they actually came up with a tag name and they actually kind of like, I never feel like it was verified. Like, they didn't get that little check. You know, like, so they're just a thing because they wrestle together, and that's cool.
I mean, they're getting really good doing some tag team moves.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so make them verify them a little bit. Like, justify the fact that they're a tag team and they're really good, and give them that little check. They're whatever, the Omega, I don't know, whatever type of, I forget, people had different names that were coming up with them right when they won the title.
The Angel and the Cowboy. I don't know.
You know, like, yeah, it's just like, you know, it was just like there was a bunch of them. I can't think of any at the top of my head.
It's just the fact that Hangman and Kenny. I'm glad that they're doing something with them because they are really good singles, and I hope that they go back into singles because I like them more in singles. But it just we'll see where they go with them.
But some of my favorite matches, Kenny, is him being solo, him against Sammy. You know, him even with Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah.
Like, there's just really him when he was with Riho. There's really good Kenny matches solo-y by himself, but we haven't seen Hangman, you know, post everything that's happening. So I would like to see a little more Hangman by himself now that he's back. But like I said, it makes me upset because they're not a legitimate tag team in like tag team sense. They're not the Lucha Bros, who we know as a tag team, but they can go solo, but we know they're a legit tag team too.
Yeah.
So yeah, just give them verify that shit. Think of a name, you know, so you could be like, yeah, they're a thing, and get some merch. We're all crazy about merch. We'll buy that. So just do that. It makes it a little bit easier for me not to complain. So yeah, whatever. Come at me. Okay. Anyways, the next we got was a little bit of a squad.
Brian Cage versus Sean Dean. Sean Dean being from Chicago.
Yeah.
He gets the jobber entrance, and doesn't get one offensive move against Brian Cage. They're building Brian Cage to be an animal and all that stuff, but it was just a throwaway match.
To have Mox come out and do their promo.
No, the promos were good.
The promos were good.
Moxley's promo was amazing.
What I want to remember, I know this is not dark, and I know there's time limits on TNT. Give them a second to come out, the jobbers. You guys were doing it a lot in the beginning.
According to Matt Hardy's rules, the jobbers get at least one offensive move.
Yeah, and I liked when you guys were doing their entrances, and I know some of them are not the greatest, but it gives them the second for them to come out and showboat themselves just for a second. I know I'm asking a lot from AEW because I want more from them, and they're still in the process where you can say, hey, we haven't been here that long and we're still learning. And I don't want this to be something that just happens and that's what it is 2-3 years from now. So I would love for you guys just to give them a second. Let them come out for a second, like you guys do on Dark. It doesn't take too long. Have to tell them, like, hey, you got to hurry up, get to the ring. Don't take too long. Get out there, But
it just gives a chance for a marquee with their social media to pop out,
and just so we can know who they are. You get to hear Taz or whoever on Dark. I would like to hear JR Excalibur say, Sean Dean from Chicago, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Give us something. So if we want to look them up and look up their indie stuff, like we get a chance to. That's all. That's one thing. But the promo, Mox and Brian.
Yeah,
I want to see this. This is
Taz
good.
did a good promo too.
Yeah, Taz is great.
But again, this is another one that I don't want Brian Cage to just be somebody for Moxley to beat and then we lose.
I worry about him just like how you said about Lance, because we see later on a bigger Brody Lee. Mr. Brody Lee comes out, and I'm not worried about Brody Lee. Why? Because he knows what he's doing. His character, he has a good hold on it. He doesn't need somebody as a mouthpiece, which we've seen with Lance and we've seen with Brian Cage. So I'm not worried about Brody's character or where he's going. But these two people, like you said, now that you mentioned Lance, I'm worried about this.
Yeah, so I kind of hope Brian wins the belt.
Yeah, because Mox doesn't need a belt.
No,
you guys,
he has superstar around him.
So just keep that in mind for those who probably be like, no, Mox needs to keep. Remember that Mox doesn't need the belt, and he'll get the belt again in the future. So it's not going to be the last time.
I think if you want to build Brian Cage to be an animal, putting the belt on him legitimizes him, because that's all championship belts are. They're props. They're meant to build a superstar. I think the AEW championship belt is the only belt that doesn't need to be legitimized in this company, because Jericho had it, Moxley had it. So following that progression, whoever gets it next is like, oh crap, they're in the level of Moxley, they're in the level of Jericho. So I think that for Brian Cage's sake, since you guys threw him in, he's gonna go on July 1st or July 8th. It's gonna be Fyter Fest.
Yeah.
So they still have a month for him.
Which they named the 2 dates on a pay-per-view. It's just regular Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
It'll be a good chance. And then the interview Lance Archer.
Really quick with Brian, what I was gonna say is that he has momentum on social media. So guys, please AEW. He posted up a picture, the Terminator, saying because he's the Machine, and everybody went crazy for Machine versus Machine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to do something with finally having Kenny in that picture, even if he doesn't win, because Kenny doesn't need to win. He doesn't. You all know that. Kenny is magically good by himself.
Well, they have time to build it up.
They have time to build it up, and my God,
Kenny versus Brian Cage. Yeah,
I'm just saying, and he was like, and he put it out there, dun 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 dun. He spelled it out, and I got hyped just reading that tweet.
Yeah, that'll be awesome for a Full Gear or for.
I'm just saying, you guys have time.
Or even for a Revolution, just build it.
Let the Elite Soul, let them break up. Let him and Hangman get that little pain, and have Kenny transition to something else.
Yeah, and start building him up, and then
building him up.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be.
I just had to write it in because I saw that Brian Cage too.
And then
it made me super excited.
If you build them up from now till, like, let's say Revolution, which is February of next year, if they keep that, man, you could do so much with Kenny and him. Because
Kenny loves slow progression. So if you build up something where he becomes a number one contender spot, like say Full Gear, or if that's gonna be like say All Out.
Ooh, what better than the Machine, which is the cleaner in a Revolution setting. All right.
But okay, so that's where see, we're still AEW hype people, so don't hate us for our last video. We get into an actually very good match versus Chris Jericho and Colt Cabana.
Yeah, the Lance Archer
was just an interview. He was beating up a random person again. I really need Lance to get on some sort of path again. Maybe him against Brody, do something. I don't know. I don't
No, I
know.
wouldn't put him against
Oh
Brody.
yeah, I'm just talking because they're big guys. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, just start setting him up, going somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put him with Sean Spears.
Sean Spears, yeah. Maybe if, like I said, Paige going solo matches, have him go against Lance in a match.
Yeah, but you don't want Lance to lose again, so that's
yeah.
you gotta start building.
You don't want
building
Sean to
some
lose
wins.
either because Tully had a good promo.
No, but I'm saying Lance and Sean could become a thing. Yeah, because
yeah. Oh, with Jake and Tully.
Tully says the search is over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're right. He did have the briefcase. We're skipping around a little bit, I think. Yeah, okay. So can we have Chris and Cole Cabana? Cole Cabana was a little outnumbered. He bit his tongue, I think, or his lip. He was bleeding a little bit. He had a little color.
I think he bit the inner part of his cheek.
Yeah, he has a little bit of color.
But this was Colt's best match in AEW.
He had a
did
good match.
A really good match.
Him and Jericho looked good. He had a little bit of interference with Hager. Sammy came out singing completely off key. He still doesn't know the words. As Aubrey had mentioned, it's been how long?
Oh, we also skipped the part with you just brought Sammy up. So Mark Quinn is good. His knee is fine. He will be fighting next week against Cody. And
you skipped too.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like the private party is in the back. They're
really
drinking. Good. Matt Hardy comes in,
and he's Matt Hardy. He's not broken. He's at Damascus.
He's just the vessel Matt Hardy, and he tells them that he's very impressed by what they did last week, and he wants to join and do a 6-man tag with them. And
Isaiah and Mark just went straight into Hardy mode.
Yeah, and he said that they should be called the Party Hardy.
Yeah. And as he's walking out, he sees Sammy. Yeah. And Sammy looks like traumatized and he's confused.
Yeah, because Matt Hardy.
If you didn't see BTE, Matt Hardy's switching personalities, and the only people confused by this, it seems, is Sammy and Hangman. Okay, everybody else is like okay and totally egging this on, which is another great thing. If you don't see BTE, you're missing a whole different like section of the storylines that progress or anything like that. That's a lot of where the content's at. But yeah, going back to this. So he comes out in his little one-wheeler again.
Yeah, because he has a broken leg.
He has broken leg or whatever. Yeah, and he's singing. It was really good content. Colt had a really good spots. It really showcases his talents. It's showcasing a little bit to where his character might go. Mm-hmm. He gets Dark Circle was mentioned last week. Dark Circle. What am I thinking about?
The inner circle and the Dark
Order. Yeah, there's too many things going on in this thing with numbers and letters and colors. Anyways, the Dark Order, and he got a paper from that one guy. I don't even know his name. The main dude. He's like
the spokesman.
The spokesman of it.
Brody Lee comes out.
And Brody comes out, and he's kind of like drinking his water, Colt, and he has that face. But everybody knows that's what we're talking about.
Because last week, when Colt got eliminated from the Rumble, the spokesman gives him a flyer, and Colt looks like he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then Brody comes to him after this match. Everybody's telling Colt, like, man, you did a really good match. Awesome. He's like, yeah, there's no point if it's a good match if I still lost. And Brody pretty much tells him, like, you could be a winner. You could get back into it. So it's starting to look like Colt might be the next in line to be recruited into the Dark Order. And if you guys had followed him with ROH when he turned against Dalton Castle, he could do a really good heel.
Yeah, and I think like when they were trying to recruit, it would have fallen flat. No offense to like Peter or like Brandon or Nakazawa. They need somebody like Colt because he's like boom boom, he's so happy, and he could play a heel good.
We'll see how intense he gets if he does join, and
it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
definitely.
The Dark Order needs some kind of storyline going since it seems like they build him up and then they squash him again. So
like I said, I'm not really worried about Brody and where his place is at because he's really good at his storytelling, so he'll figure it out. But yeah, so that was the match, and then we get Nyla Rose versus Big Swole. This was a decent match. Swole had a lot of good spots in it.
I think this was Swole's best match.
Yeah. I just like the shit that she says outside the ring, the way she was going at Britt Baker. She just comes out. She has so much energy. Her outfits.
Yellow Power Ranger.
Her outfits. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, you're doing all this to me. I'm going Big Swole, and then she loses.
Yeah, and the way that she lost was she had all the momentum in the match, and then Nyla just does a power bomb on her and beats her like that, which is kind of like.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It kind of let me down a
It
little
wasn't
bit.
the best match on Nyla's part. It wasn't as good as the Sheeta match. It was good on Swole's part because she was bringing it and she has that energy and people miss her. So it was good because Swole was in the match. And that's the problem. Like you have Sheeta outside the ring looking not really impressed about what she saw. And it's like, is it going to be Nyla again as the one contender, as you mentioned?
Yeah, it looks like they're just recycling between Nyla and Sheeta now. And like I'm okay with Nyla. Like I really like her. Um, but you just can't just she was the number one contender on and off when Riho had the belt. Then she takes the belt from Riho. Then you get Sheeta to get the belt, and now it's like instead of building somebody else up,
Mm-hmm.
like it seems like we're just gonna go back to the Nyla versus Sheeta instead of building somebody new to go against the belt for with Sheeta. Like I don't know, Big Swole, um, what was her name? Kay. She
Oh, Allison?
Allison
Allison K,
Kay.
yeah.
Um, even Penelope Ford.
Yep.
Just somebody that hasn't been in the title picture yet. Like we've had Chris Statlander, we had Nyla
Big Swoller,
already,
yeah.
and
Big
so we like Big
Allie,
Swole.
if she wanted to,
Big
I'm
Swole
not
would have
sure.
been the perfect one to start building her up.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. I don't want them to do. No offense to what I consider WWE treatment, which is you see the same thing before the pay per view, during the pay per view, and then right after the
Yeah,
pay
the
per
same
view.
matches over
You get
and
the
over.
same matches over and over. You guys haven't done that, so I'm gonna give you guys the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, I don't want to see another Nyla and Sheeta match for the next pay per view. So I hope something else changes in the next few
Month.
weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have like three Dynamites before Fighter Fest.
Yeah, so let's get that done. Let's get her done. Anyways, we get FTR's interview, which was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
They look like they just got their clothes off the rack and still had tags on them,
This
but I like their clothes.
They were very charismatic throughout
Very
this interview.
charismatic. It was really good.
Yeah, this was like
Tony Schiavone's just adorable. Can I just mention that real quick?
if you've been following FTR through their main roster run, because they were amazing in NXT, especially when they were going against DIY.
Mm-hmm.
You missed out on just how good they are with the mic, and like this whole thing just highlighted their other skills. They're not just old school tag team. They also have characters, and they also have the ability to talk in the mic. So this was really good.
Yeah, and then they dropped. Everybody thought it was going to be the Free to Revival. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. Well, I don't want to say the F. No, it was what is it?
Free the Revolt, or yeah.
Fear to Revolt. They thought they were going to drop that, but they didn't. And instead, they actually said, F the Revival. And he bleeped out both things because Tony Schiavone says it, which was pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then ensues a fight coming down from Butcher and the Blade. So what happened? And they're trying to explain to him, that's not her feelings. It's not you guys. We're not coming after you.
This is business. We're business people.
Yeah, so it really shows again where their state is of being clean fighters, of like we're going after you. This is one-on-one type thing, and it's kind of defining who their character is going to be at already. Coming into AEW,
they called out the Lucha Brothers for not tagging during tag matches.
On Twitter.
They called out the Young Bucks. They called out They called out basically the whole tag team division. And then they called out Kenny and Hangman for saying that they're not a legitimate tag team, and the fact that they have a belt is kind of a shame.
So once again, I like how you guys listen, and you guys work it into storylines, and I'm okay with that. So if you take that and you're like, you know what, I'll give us credit for that. You guys listen.
That's why it's good to constructively criticize a company. Yeah. Don't just bash on a company, but actually have real criticism. And then when people criticize a company, don't just attack them, but actually listen to where they're coming from and why they're saying certain things.
Because not every show's like NXT is not going to be the best NXT every Wednesday. Yeah. Every pay-per-view is not going to be the best pay-per-view either. And letting them know that gives them the room of error and the room to grow. Yeah. Don't troll people about like Naya and stuff like that. Don't say you have to hate people for stuff like that. Be constructive. What can people do? You hope that they get better. They hope they go back and look at what they're actually doing. Sometimes they can't come out of kayfabe and say what they really want to. Look what Mox had to say after he left. Like sometimes it's the contracts and the people higher up that tell them to say certain things and do certain things. And we have to remember they're people. Don't bully them. Don't bully their fans. They are also people. So constructive criticism. Not everybody's
Yeah.
perfect. That is cool. To say somebody is perfect,
Yeah.
that's a little dishonest there. So
All
that's
right.
kind of a judge of character. All right. Anyways, last of the match that I didn't want to see because I already had feelings some sort of way. Cody versus Jungle Boy. I didn't want to see Jungle Boy lose.
Yeah, but
I know he had to.
yeah.
But he looked damn good out there.
Yeah, I think Jungle Boy looked. I mean, Cody did a good job in this match, except for the color that he added to himself.
Yeah,
He needs to
gotta
stop
declare.
bleeding. But Jungle Boy looked really, really good in this match.
He's so young.
Yeah,
He's just so good.
and then I love the fact that him and MJF had a back and forth because
Allowing time for Cody to give color.
it's the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart thing that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It's building to that between Jungle Boy and MJF. And this was a good match, a good first defense for Cody. Next week, Cody will be going against Mark Quinn for the TNT belt. Let's see how long his body could hold on to going
week by week.
Because he said weekly he will defend the TNT belt, so we'll see.
And
it's gonna be a lot on his body.
What I love about Jungle Boy is like he's the under the radar superstar. Everybody has like mic shots, like Private Party, Orange Cassidy. Now even says one word, he's on TV. But Jungle Boy, he's just like in in the bushes, like literally in the jungle, and you don't hear about him. And then when he comes out in the ring, and he just explodes with talent. Like every time we see him, he's going up one more notch. And he's one guy, and I'm just like, God, I can't wait for you just to blow up.
He's improving week after week, match after match. You see more of him, like just.
I want to be there for the night that he becomes the superstar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whenever he gets the belt or whatever title he gets.
When the torch is passed.
Yeah, like, I want to be there to see that magic because it's like, he has it. He has it. He's so good. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, that's all Dynamite. We will be back with our thoughts on NXT in your house. That is going to be on Saturday. And the card for that is Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai for the Women's Championship. Sorry, NXT Championship was Adam Cole. He has it. Of course, if you didn't know. Ciampa versus Cross. That's going to be a good one. Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano. And Finn Balor versus Damian Priest.
Do you want to do a quick predictions or... Let's go really fast.
Okay, I think
Adam
Cole's gonna retain.
Yeah, I think Adam Cole retains.
I would love Io Shirai to win, but I feel like Charlotte's gonna hold it.
I want to say Charlotte retains, but I have a feeling that they're moving Charlotte back to Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, same.
So I have a feeling that Io Shirai will get the belt here.
Oh man, I'll pop so hard. God, I'll come in here like.
I think. Cross.
All stupid face.
I think Cross beats Ciampa.
Yeah, I think Cross is gonna beat Ciampa to legitimize him.
Yeah.
And
I think Keith Lee retains against Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, I think Balor's gonna win.
Yeah, and Balor beats Priest.
All right, those are our 2 cents on this. Like us, subscribe, retweet, tell us what you don't like, and do like.
Check out Down for the Count on Spotify, and We Love Wrestling. I think it's on Facebook. And do you have any other platforms?
Instagram.
I
think it's on Instagram.
And Love is LUV.
LUV, yeah. So
all right, guys.
you'll be seeing more from us soon. Take care. Bye.